latest tropical cyclone to form in the Western Pacific is Tropical Storm Kammuri, which is located just south of Guam right now with winds of 40 miles per hour and an estimated pressure of 997 millibars at midnight Chamorro time this November 27th. No CDPS rating at this time because no landfall is expected in the next 5 days, but beyond that time period we could see some potential impacts. Here it is right now though, tropical storm force winds likely affecting some of those islands with a very large wind field towards the northeastern side, 11.5 north, 144.8 degrees east, which puts it 125 miles from Inarajan in southern Guam, 139 from Hagatna, 185 from Rota, 248 from Tinian, and 467 miles east of Yap. The storm's going to move towards the west-northwesterly direction. We'll probably miss all of those islands in terms of the landfall, but nonetheless a tropical storm warning is in effect for Guam, Rota, Tinian and Saipan, and indeed tropical storm conditions are possible on all of those islands. Not only that, but significant rainfall as well from this rather broad tropical cyclone. Here is the rainfall depiction over the next 7 days. It's an accumulation of rainfall here, as you can see the storm tracking towards the west-northwest. Any areas in pink denote rainfall amounts over 75 millimeters in the whole forecast period, so you'll eventually see there the trail of the storm projecting towards the west there as the track shifts towards the Philippines, and that is one area we're looking at for a potential impact next week, so we'll continue to watch that from a distance. Current sea surface temperatures ahead of the storm around 28 or 29 degrees Celsius, very warm indeed still at this time of year, right the way through to the coast of the Philippines if it gets there. Well, here is a look at the wind profile, the forecast there. The track will take it towards generally a westward direction initially, but then a jog towards the north and a possible stalling motion somewhere along the line there before it starts to move more decidedly towards the west. That's what the models are thinking at the moment, but there is still a lot of uncertainty as to whether the storm will continue to go towards the west or break off towards the north and then northeast, recurving. But at the moment the GFS is siding with the former, and that could mean quite an intense typhoon heading towards the Philippines next week. Chances of tropical storm force winds in the next 5 days though, 89% on Guam, that's mainly today, 50% at Rota, 16 at Tinian, 11 at Saipan and 12% over on Yap, and that would be in about 3 or 4 days time. So here is a look at what the models are saying right now. The CTCX going out on a limb, goodness me. The HWRF calling for a Category 4, and that is in line with the JTWC forecast as well, calling for a Category 4 on day 5. Wind shear will be low to moderate, 10 to 20 knots of wind shear depending which model you look at. Sea surface temperatures as stated, 28 degrees at a minimum, and relative humidity values dropping off a little bit, but at the moment good conditions for intensification. So here is how the storm has actually been looking on the satellite imagery, looking a little bit bare on the eastern side of the centre there, but towards the west and north, large amounts, copious amounts of convection, which would be delivering significant rainfall over some of those islands, I should imagine. That will continue for around another 3 to 6 hours before it enters the dry side of the storm, those islands, and then the threat from Kammuri will probably be gone on Guam. After that, we'll be looking towards some of the other islands, and then of course the Philippines as we get towards next week. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com. You can also find our YouTube channel. If you're not there already, you may well be. Good chance of that. Subscribe if you haven't. You can also find our Facebook page, search Force 13 all in text, and our Twitter handle, it's at Force 13 on there. You can also help the project become even better by becoming a patron. You can see more information about all the benefits involved by visiting patreon.com/Force13. With a special thanks to these people for being our most valued patrons this month. You can also check out our growing merch store so you can show Force 13's colours wherever you go. You can also find a link to our Discord server underneath this video in the description.